That's a great question, and I'm comfortable starting anyone. Rodney Green's junior year, we started out, I think, 3-7 in the league, and we were really not very happy. And before every game, we had a best-of-3 scrimmage, and the winning team was our next starting lineup. Rodney didn't start a lot of those games. And we went 5-1 down the stretch, including wins at Temple and at St. Louis. We may open it up like that. I mean, I could start our seniors for leadership. I could start a different lineup that would be the most talented lineup, or I could open it up to competition. And frankly, I'm not sure which of those three ways I'm going to go. The great thing is I think our kids just want to win, and I think they like each other and respect each other. I think they'll support whatever I do. And here's the other thing. The first minute of the game is no more important than the 15th minute or the 4th minute or the 34th minute. Starting to me is not a big deal. The best players will play the most minutes, and whatever is best for us motivationally is what we'll do to start games. But I truly feel comfortable starting any of our guys right now.
Who are some of the guys that we haven't seen play with your team? Who are some of the better guys?
Yeah, great question. To me, the biggest surprise is Tony Washington. Tony was brought in to lift and get stronger last year. The plan, of course, is for him to play behind Jarrell and Steve this year and get his feet wet and compete for a starting job next year. He's a year ahead of schedule because on his good days, which are becoming more frequent, he battles Jarrell and Steve even right now. So when you have a 6'11" young player who can battle senior preseason all-conference guys toe-to-toe in his first week of official practice, that's a pretty good sign. Now, he's never played in a game. I guarantee you he'll be nervous. I'll guarantee you he'll have bad moments. But over the long haul, he's really going to be a good player and help us. And just guys at that size are not easy to find. So I think he'll have an impact with his size and ability. I think everyone expects, because they, like myself, our fans have known that there's going to be a turnover at guard. And I think everyone knows that we have a good plan. I think everyone knows that as high school recruits go, Amar, Stukes, and Johnny Schuler are hard to beat. I think as people know, a transfer like Jordan Price, who's a top 60, 70 guy in the country, who set an SEC record for consecutive threes as a freshman, and a guy who was already a starter at Georgia Southern, Cleon Roberts, is a pretty good start in terms of transfers. So I think those four guys are good players, and all of them but Johnny have been on campus for a year, and two of them already have Division I starting experience. So I think we have guys ready to go.
John, you mentioned two specific guys there, Roberts and Jordan Price. The one thing you said at the end of last year was that if you made one mistake, was you didn't have enough shooting.
Yeah.
That they changed that equation.
Jordan's a really good shooter. Cleon's a good shooter, and I say that because he can make shots, and it looks good, and he works at it hard. He hasn't shot it as well in terms of percentages in practice yet as I would like, but yeah, I think Jordan's a really good shooter, and frankly, I think everyone else needs to keep getting better. I think we got to keep where I can't sit here right now and tell you that we're as good a shooting team as we've been in the past, but I can tell you this: we're better defensively, and we're better rebounding, and we're a little bit bigger. And I've studied teams like St. Joe's, who had one great shooter in Langston Galloway, and a bunch of other good shooters, but not necessarily good players, but not necessarily good shooters. You look at George Washington last year, with Maurice Creek being a great shooter, and the other guys were not necessarily great shooters, but good players. So I've seen teams go to the NCAA tournament last year with good post players, good guard play, good defense, and maybe a great shooter, but not great team shooting. We may have to win that way. Now, on the other hand, if these other guys shoot it well then the game's going to get a lot easier for us. But Even the way we're constructed right now, I like us because I think we're bigger. If you look at our guards in the past, they were terrific, but they were smaller and quicker. We're a lot bigger now, and probably just about as quick.
What will people see of Amar Stooks, who've heard of him obviously because he's a local kid and we knew what he did in high school? What will they see of him now that maybe they didn't see when he was redshirting and before that? What have you seen from him?
What I hope they'll see is the Atlantic 10 version of what they saw in high school. Of course, for him to do in the Atlantic 10 what he did in high school, he needed to get much stronger and get experience playing against older, better players. Well, we've done that. So the reason I was so high on Amar is I love the way he played in high school, and I want him to play the same way now. It's just that the competition is much stronger. I think this year has prepared him to do that. So, my expectations for him are high. I expect him to get in the lane and finish and make plays and get fouled. And I expect him to be a great defender. And he, like the rest of our team, has to make open shots. That's probably the one thing that he has to work on the most. But in terms of going to the basket and playing smart and being unselfish and being a great defender, I expect him to do all those things.
Being a great defender, is he the guy who wants to play defense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, one of our best lineups in practice are he and Khalid Lewis together. They're unbelievable defensively, and they're so unselfish they get everyone else shots. And Khalid had everything possible bad happen to him last year. He's an infinitely better player than what he showed last year. So, we like both those guys, and we like them together too.